Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, November 9th, 2020. The time is precisely 11 a.m. This is our weekly Commissioner Status Report. And attending in person are Commissioners Duncan and Fillios. Joining us by conference phone is Commissioner Bill Brooks. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
We need to add an executive session, and I probably would suggest that we do our pending items before both executive sessions. And we need to add a 76206-1F.
Okay.
It's time sensitive because, It's,
Awesome.
okay, pending litigation, so,
Okay. And that's the F?
yes.
For pending litigation. Okay, great. Understood. Okay, we can do that. Okay, so let's start with our Kootenai Fire and Rescue Station at the Fairgrounds, general discussion. Leslie, and I presume Chief Way, welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Joe, welcome.
May I take my mask off?
Absolutely.
I have already given a copy to the clerk, brought you all an updated copy.
Thank
with
you.
the requested changes that county legal made. I'll leave a copy for Commissioner Brooks. As you know, Kootenai County Fire and Rescue has proposed leasing a space on the fairgrounds on basically the southeast corner of the existing fairgrounds, just to the west of 4th Street on Kathleen.
Yes.
There's a diagram at the back. As Commissioner Duncan pointed out last week, it was not labeled. It is now labeled Exhibit B on the diagram for you. We are basically proposing a lease that has now gone through your legal and our legal, and we made the changes. The two requested changes you had were an easement because of the pipeline, and so that has been changed. And the other one was, it read 271 feet and needed to read 272 or vice versa, I don't remember, and that has been changed as well. So the easement has been changed. We've moved the location 10 feet back to allow for we've moved the station location 10 feet back for the location of the pipeline to allow access. It would still be under the driveway, but there would be access to the pipeline there, and the station wouldn't be too close for that. The lease is proposed at $364,800, $50,000 to be paid upon the signing of the lease. The remaining $314,800 to be paid upon groundbreaking of the station. That amount came up as a result of working with the Fair Board to figure out how much potential revenue that they would potentially would have earned over a course of several years based on parking in that area is what they use that small area for right now.
Okay.
Certainly, we are open to discussion. We would love to see the funds go to the Fair Board, if at all possible, for their use, since they would be losing out on that revenue. I know that they have thoughts of how they would like to utilize those funds going forward. So again, upon the signing of this, and my understanding from our legal aspect, we are ready to go. I know that my understanding is that your legal team had reviewed the two changes, so I don't know if that's correct or not, but
Yes, yeah, I mean, there's just some things that I'll bring up.
okay,
But yeah, as far as legal is concerned, that's fine.
okay.
So from a legal standpoint, we have an agreement. Legal agrees.
Well, legal is fine with the way the document stands,
Right.
but I have a problem naming the Fair Board in here because it's county property, so I think the payments need to come to the county, and, you know, we can discuss and talk about.
Which is a business
Yes.
decision. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay.
And so there's a few places in here that I've marked that will need to, you know, like rent payments shall be mailed to the address provided for the Fair Board. It needs to come to the county. It's got to go through the county. It can't just go to the Fair Board. So things like that, I think there's like 3 spots in there that we can go over. So I calculated the lease rate, and it's about 11 cents a square foot. And I know at the airport, we charge about 52 cents a square foot. So I understand where you guys came up with the number. It's the lost revenue from that. But I just wanted to get that on the record, that it's, what that lease rate, would be.
Okay.
So,
Bill, do you have any concerns?
I don't have any concerns at all, except that I think it's very important that we not, I mean, we receive the money, the county receives the money, and if the county decides to give the money in whole or in part to the fair, that's fine. But first and foremost, it comes to the county.
Okay, so then you would be in favor of striking any references that indicate that the money goes directly to the fairgrounds?
Yes, that's correct. I mean, that's where I'd like to see it go, but I don't want to give up that. I mean, I don't think any agency would like an outside agency telling it where it has to put the money. I don't think that's the job of, Chris or anybody. I just think we need to retain that right.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense, and I kind of agree with that, too. I think the question of where the money goes and whether we give it to the fairgrounds is a subsequent question, but I think for now, it's important that we come to the agreement so you guys we can all get started, but,
Agreed.
which is basically your point.
yes.
Okay, so I think we have general agreement. We're going to need to take this up soon.
Right, and that's fine. I don't know if you want me to just go over the changes with you right now, or
We
later.
can, or you can send me what's easiest for you.
Probably sending it to you, like red line copy or something.
Yes.
And I think there's only 3 changes. And then I think that it would be fair to make sure we have this discussion about how much we feel should go to the fairgrounds, if not all.
And we can have the discussion in parallel, because as you send the information, the changes to Chief Way, and we're in agreement, we can take this up and actually approve it next week at the business meeting, a week from tomorrow?
Yes.
The
yeah.
question of where the money goes, we can do in parallel.
Correct.
One should not necessarily, we don't want to hold up the agreement.
Well, I guess my question is, does the agreement exist without that
obviously-
confirmation?
Yes, I think our discussion internally has been, we would obviously like to see the money go to the fairground and the fair board
Right.
for use. But ultimately, you're absolutely right. It's not our decision. And we have to find a new home for Station 4.
Precisely.
We cannot be in our existing home on Golf Course Road we're already past due and we've been putting DEQ off, saying we're working on a solution, and they've been giving us grace. But ultimately, we cannot let that piece of it hold us up, so.
Okay, so then you and I will correspond, get that lease done, and we'll get it on the business meeting for signature for next Tuesday.
Perfect. And so just to let you know, I have got to be gone next Tuesday, but somebody will be here. One of the
No,
two
that's fine.
deputy chiefs will be
That's
here
fine.
to be at the business meeting next Tuesday to represent us.
Yeah, we will have ironed it out before then, so Tuesday is really the formality, because that's the business meeting.
Yeah, and we can continue the discussions Mondays at 11, because it's perpetually on our
So
list.
do you want
of
us
things to
here at
discuss.
11 every Monday?
Not necessarily. I think it's a board decision now to decide about the money and the funds.
I
And
mean, obviously, like I said, we would support and advocate for it going to the fairgrounds.
Yep.
We're good partners with them, and we feel very strongly that we would advocate for that, but that cannot be, I feel confident that that cannot be our deciding,
Sure.
piece
You
to pull out of it.
You need the space.
We
You
have
need
to
the
have
firehouse.
space, yes.
Got it.
Yep, and we'd be happy to have you there for sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so
All right,
you
well,
and I will get
we-
right on that.
All right, we'll get on it, and I appreciate your time, and thank you for working with us on this over the last
You
few
bet.
months.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chief. Okay, then, so that takes care of item number 1 on the agenda. Item number 2, Juvenile Probation Annual Report to the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections, potential action item. So Deb, our Director of Juvenile Probation.
So here's a copy of the report for you. I will leave one for Bill. This is the original that I'm asking for signature on.
Okay.
So Commissioners, This is an annual report that we do to Department of Juvenile Corrections every year. This is our statistical report for juvenile probation. A reminder, diversion submits their own form. We don't report on the diversion part, only the probation part. Later in the month, I will have the financial report that'll also be due. That'll be due on December 1st. Interestingly, I did see some areas affected by COVID this year. So this is fiscal year 20, the data that we're reporting on. As a reminder, we were under court restrictions. We couldn't have youth do work in lieu of detention community service program from mid-March through the end of May. My probation officers could not use unscheduled detention time during that time. They put off some court hearings 60 days, so we were under those same restrictions that the court placed on the adult system as well as our system.
Okay.
So certainly we saw some of those. Also a reminder, part of my staff were working from home from stay-at-home order mid-March through about mid-June. We maintained office hours the entire time, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We just had a skeleton crew in the office to handle any emergencies, and the rest of my staff were working from home during that period of time, which we did a fantastic job. But I do believe COVID in general has affected some of these numbers this year. So as we go through the report, the first part is just statistical juveniles broken out by race. Again, that's consistent with our county population, so we don't see any abnormalities there. Numbers broken out males and females. Again, we typically see a little more than 30% females, the rest males on probation. Ages of juvenile being placed on probation, we typically, that 14 to 16-year-old, that's that middle school. That's typically the age range that we see the majority of our youth entering into our system. Discharge from probation during the reporting period, again, a great statistic there. Only 10 juveniles were not able to successfully complete probation, meaning they were not amenable to probation. They may have ended up just serving out their time. The vast majority of our youth are able to complete.
Deb, when you say that they're discharged successfully, who makes that determination? The judge? The courts? Okay.
Petitions filed during the reporting period, that number is down a little bit from last year. Last year we had 478 petitions. Again, I think part of that is COVID related, where we just didn't see as many petitions being written during a period of time when law enforcement was busy with other things. Certainly not having youth in school for that period of time, not having SROs have eyes on these kids, not having that supervised time, I think, indeed did affect some of these numbers, petitions being one of them. Total number of probation violations filed on juveniles during the reporting period, that number is also a little bit lower than last year. Again, I think part of that is just, the amount of supervision that we were able to have when these kids were not in school, not really having good supervision.
When you talk about total number of felonies, what are we talking primarily? Drugs?
It could be drugs. Some of the felonies we see are aggravated batteries, fights if there were weapons involved, things of that nature. So we see the gamut of it. Typically, we see the majority as misdemeanors, which we still see. We did see a small increase in those felony numbers this year. Don't have a good explanation for that, but we do have a few more felonies
Okay.
this year. Recidivism numbers, again, recidivism is always a tough number to capture because, with kids, it's counted if they were adjudicated of an offense after they've completed a period of probation. I believe COVID affected this number because we're showing about a 12% recidivism rate for this last year. Last year, we had an 18% recidivism rate, which is phenomenal. I know my staff are good. I think that 12% number is skewed again because of the lack of petitions, the lack of eyes on some of these kids. If they're not caught doing something, then it doesn't show as a recidivism. So
Okay.
I do feel that number is skewed a little bit because
Low.
of the numbers. Reoffenses, again, we do a good job And then community service numbers, so that's our work in lieu of detention program. And again, those numbers are slightly down this year, but we have the restrictions from the court with youth not being able to do that program for a period of time because of the COVID restrictions. So, good numbers, you know, we're still doing a good job with what we have. We have been able to do some of our programming through COVID. We were able to do our first team golf program. We're doing our equine therapy program. Those are programs that are held outdoors and are easy to socially distance. We haven't been able to do a lot of our classroom programming over the last year, drill circle, anger management, some of those things, just because of restrictions with space and trying to social distance. But we have done programs that we can. We do have WOW program going again now that that restriction was lifted. Again, that's mostly outdoor work where we're able to social distance those youth. So under the circumstances, I think these are great numbers. It'll be interesting to see statewide if all the other counties have seen kind of some of these same trends we saw due to COVID this last year.
Right. And I'll kind of be interested too to go forward to see if there is lasting effect by not having those classroom settings.
Absolutely.
So that'll be a good indication of maybe, you know, where to go in the future or something.
Right. We've been able to do a few things virtually,
Mm-hmm.
where we have kids log in and view different videos and, you know, kind of get them through some of those programs that way. But
Right.
it's a strain on staff because we enjoy doing those programs and we feel like that programming that we have is what really makes that difference
Right.
in our good success rates, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, face to face and knowing somebody that cares and knowing that, you know, there are other options. They don't have to continue down the same path.
Right. The state requires my signature, commissioner's signature, and then a judge's signature. I've sent it to Judge Christensen last week. I reminded him this morning that I needed that back from him, so as soon as I get that back from him, I can submit a fully executed copy.
Okay, so you need us to execute the one before us?
I do.
Okay, so then we need a motion that authorizes me to execute. Okay,
Yes.
go right ahead.
I move that we accept the juvenile probation annual report and authorize Chairman Fillios to execute the report.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried, and I'm executing the juvenile probation annual report to the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections. Okay. Good job. Thank you, Deb, as always. Okay, then.
Can we do the pending items?
Yes, let's move on to that. Let's do our pending items list.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so the first item on the list is Citizen Advisory Committee. That's been, that's on hold. Okay.
And then
Fire station, go ahead, Deb.
Chief Wage is presented, so I will go ahead and get that on the business meeting for next Tuesday with corrected copies.
Okay. Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, please, come on up.
Just as you guys make your decision on how that's funded, I just wanted to let you know why it's kind of important that if you can include the Fair Board, it would be greatly appreciated. As you know, we're entering into a master plan. As we do that, we have to enter into a capital campaign. In order to move forward on those grants, that's what we need this money for, is that will be matching dollars and grants that we apply for the most part. So we intend every ounce of that to go to our capital building funds. As you know, there's quite a few needs out there that are gonna be incredibly costly that we're trying to fund on our own. So, please give that some consideration as you move
Sure.
forward with your decision.
Right, and mind you, next Tuesday's decision, it's separate. We're going to have the lease
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything,
Right,
so.
I just wanna get it out there that
Oh, no, we get it. Thank you. Absolutely. Okay, facilities expansion. We do have a presentation this afternoon by LCA Architects. I think we have both rooms, don't we, this afternoon? So if people want to attend, you're welcome to. I think we're set up for socially distanced. I think we have 30 chairs. But anyway, they're basically going to present their their qualifications to us. They've been the ones that we've selected. This is the same group that designed the jail expansion. Leslie, Shawn, do you want to say anything?
I just spent about an hour with them, and they're gonna come in and do about a 5-minute presentation of, what they've done in the past. And then I've asked them to kind of explain to the board and anybody else who's in the room, because we don't do something like this very often,
Sure.
what that process is moving forward. They have quite a few questions for you. You probably have some questions for them. I told them we have the room for an hour or longer if we need it. They need to leave by 2:30-ish, 2:45. I did give them a tour of the courthouse and the Justice Building so they could see what we have now, and it brought up a lot more questions that will probably get addressed during design, but they're pretty much ready to go at 1 o'clock, so. I told them to be here about 15 minutes early so they can get their.
How many people?
We have the principal, and then the principal who's semi-retired, and then one other architect, plus Corey Trapp. So there'll be 4 of them.
4 of them?
3
Okay,
of them
cool.
flew up from Boise.
Okay, great. All right, so that's today, 1 o'clock. Thank you, Shawn. Pack Airport lease?
Nothing further yet, just waiting for Wally. Have you heard from Wally?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was talking to Steven.
Oh. I didn't even see you there, sorry. Okay. OEM relocation.
So tomorrow, you guys have a change order that has 3 things on it. What I'm going to try to do is group them so we can speed them through quicker because of the time frame. So tomorrow, the total for the 3 is $4,026.23, and that's to add some cabinets for printing and stuff to the EOC, remove and replace some rubber base, and we need to get the ADA striping done in the lot. I just checked my email, and the entry canopy would be the north side. That whole roof is shot, so it's about $4,400. They're gonna probably see that one next Tuesday. We're doing really well under budget. That's mostly due to bidding. Most of the demo work is done, and we got a schedule from them last week that says that they will be done punched and retainage by December 23rd.
Essentially, Shawn, what is the bulk of the work? Is it reconfiguration?
It's just remodel. It's all,
Remodel,
it's just new ceiling tiles, new flooring, painting, adding a couple walls, some mechanical stuff, cutting in a window, a little bit of roofing. So it's pretty much just a remodel job.
Cool, okay. That it? Okay, our pending items, done. Okay, so moving on, what did I do with it?
Right, so I would think, Ann, how, do you need 5, 10 minutes? You need 15 minutes? How? I would say probably 5. Okay, so I'd like to handle Ann's first because the 1C is gonna be a little bit more lengthy than that. so.
Understood, okay, so are we gonna go directly into exec?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. That's what I was wondering earlier, so.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it, just
Yeah,
to
it
be on the
doesn't
safe
hurt.
side, doesn't hurt. Go right ahead.
So I move that we add executive session 74206-1F to the agenda.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, entering into.
Nope, that was just to add it.
Oh,
Now-
I'm
now
sorry,
I'll go
forgive me,
into it.
forgive me. Okay, so we're adding
Yeah.
executive session 76-2061F to the agenda. Go right
Yes.
ahead.
So I move we enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061F.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, entering into executive session.
So Bill, I'm gonna have to.
So the time is now 11:47. We're about to exit executive session. Motion?
I move we exit executive session with staff to proceed as discussed.
Aye. Exiting executive session. Public comment? Hearing none. 11:48, meeting adjourned. Thank you.